Shalom, this is Sophia Americana, and we're here with a little video about some tips for successful fasting. Now, going to make this short and sweet, right? The number one suggestion I can make to anybody who's trying to begin a fast, any fast, whatever the purpose of the fast is to establish a clear personal purpose for a fast. What is it that you would like for the Creator to do for you? What are you petitioning the Creator to intervene for you on your behalf? What is it that you are asking for? You should be very clear about what you want, and it should be personal to you. When you see in the Bible people doing fasts, they were fasting because they were intervening on their own behalf. Even in the Old Testament, where the groups of people were fasting at the same time, they were still intervening on their own behalf. They weren't intervening on someone else's behalf. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot fast or you should not fast for other people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do an extended fast, a long fast, you want to do that fast on your own behalf for your own interest. And you want to listen very carefully to your spirit team on what that should entail. What is it that you specifically need to give up? And what is going to best benefit you? It could be that your spirit team is telling you, don't fast. That is not what is necessary right now. And you don't want to ignore that. If your spirit team, if your guardian angel, whoever, your saint, or whoever it is telling you, hey, you don't need to fast. You may want to listen to that, because there is such a thing of fasting in vain. There is such a thing as bringing about retribution based on something that you're specifically not supposed to do. And I can't speak for anybody on what they are not supposed to do. Only thing I can do is bring you some tips so that you can make the most out of your fast. Now, another thing that I discovered in my research about fasting, which is in some of my previous videos, is that from what I understand, it is best to fast at night with the circadian clock. At night, your body rebuilds itself. And so if you are relegating yourself to eating at night, that is the time that your body is supposed to be rebuilding itself. So for the sake of your body, perhaps eat when the sun is shining, eat with the sun. We are children of the light, so we want to do things in the light, so eat with the sun. And then when the sun goes down, don't eat. Your body will thank you in most cases, and you will be more successful at your overall fast if you fast in this manner that I'm suggesting. So it's not that you necessarily want to you have to fast the same way as everyone else. Fasting is very personal. You do what you can personally handle. You take in or don't take in what is personally good or bad for you. And don't let other people's ideas about fasting determine your own ideas. I'm just giving you things to look into so that when you set your fast up, it will be successful for you. I'm not saying, hey, don't do this, don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. These are tips. These are not rules, okay? These are tips. Another thing is when you do begin to fast, I suggest that you have a prayer that you say, either a psalm or some other kind of prayer. You know me, I always use the Orthodox prayers. But if not that, then a psalm or something that you can say every day to refocus your fast into what you want. The last fast we did, not the last one, I'm sorry, the Judith and Esther fast we did last year, I had a prayer, a scripture that I had taken from Judith and from the book of Judith and from the book of Esther, which is not in your regular Bibles, in the Orthodox Bible. I think it's also could be in the pseudepigrapha. I don't know. But I have it in my Orthodox Bible, the prayer of Judith and the prayer of Esther. So I took those two prayers. I said those prayers every day to invoke that energy of Judith and Esther into my actual fast. I recommend you do that. If it's not a prayer from one of the books that's already in the Bible, you write your own prayer, you take your own psalm. If you're going to take it from, a mantra, whatever it is, you have an energy to tether your fast to. And it should be your energy that you choose for yourself for what you want to achieve. Let this be very personal. Fasting is very, very personal. Now, I have fasted from May 16th into the summer solstice. That was my very first fast. And I can tell you from my personal experience that I do not recommend that, because I fasted from sunup to sundown and I probably almost killed myself. And that was my first fast. And even now, as a person who has done many fasts since then, I still would not recommend that. It's because the days are getting longer and it's very uneven time period, meaning the days are exponentially getting longer. They're not, what I notice is, like, I have something that I say first thing in the morning, and then I have something that I say when the first light comes. That time period is constantly, every day is like 10 minutes earlier, and the sun is staying out like 10 or 15 minutes later. It's not around the equilux. Right, the equilux, the equiluxes, or the equinoxes they call them. The 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 addition of light or darkness is not so obvious, but this time period between the equilux and the equinox, which I'll call the solstices, is rapid. Progression. Things are rapidly changing, not slowly changing, really, really rapidly changing. So this is one of the reasons why the fasts that I call are between the equinox and the equilux. So for example, we do our first fast with the cross quarter holiday. That's between the equinox, the winter equinox, or solstice you call them, and the spring equilux. Okay, and then we don't do one between the spring equilux and the summer equinox. We don't do one at that time. Then we do one between the spring equinox and the fall equilux, because the time the time changes slower during those periods. So it's not so it's not so it's not so shocking on the system to be losing that much light or to be gaining that much light. It's a very slow progression. But these two time periods between equilux and equinox, from equilux to equinox, I don't mess with fasting in general, because things are moving too fast. It's really, really hard to keep up with how fast things are moving. But between equinox, which y'all call solstices, and equilux, yeah, I fast during those times, because it's a much more slower progression. Your body has a chance to flow with it. But during this time, your body does not have a chance to flow with it. Like I said, I did this fast, May the 16th to solstice. It almost killed me. And it was my first fast. And I also gave up meat. So I did sun up to sundown plus no meat. it almost killed me. No joke, because of the rapid progression of the sun. It was less and less time for me to eat, and it forced me to eat at night, and eating at night was not good for my personal body, and therefore it caused me far more problems that I've been trying to work out ever since then. My first fast was like in 2022. So I don't recommend that. But there are other things to fast from besides food. So you could go on a social media fast. That might be a very good idea, because then you're eating regularly, you're not messing with your internal clock, but maybe you're giving up social media. You could go on a fast from television if you watch television. You could go on a fast from video games if you play video games. You could go on a fast from low vibrational music and only listen to high vibrational music. There's lots of things that you could fast from, right? That aren't food, that could work during this time period. So I'm not saying that no fasting is I don't mess with food fast during this time period because of the rapid expansion of the light and the dark. But there's lots of other things that you could fast from. A social media fast, 100%. That would be a great idea, especially since the energy is really, really bad. And we change energies around the 1st of July, and then things will be much better. So social media fast would be great. A conscious social media fast would be really good for this time. If you want to do a fast or you want to participate, maybe you do a Bible fast where you just read the Bible. You spend these days and you read the Bible every day. You try to get through the whole Bible in this time period or something like that, or all the Psalms or whatever. There's a lot of different things that you can do that don't if you have intimate relationships, maybe take a fast from that. That would be a good idea. There's a lot of different things that you can do. It's just not food. And so keep that in mind as well. What if you are being called to fast, what is the Most High, the creator of all things, suggesting that you give up for him, to show him that you're serious about doing his work and his will? And always make it personal. Like I've said that 5 or 6 times, but I just keep saying it because it's really, really important that you be personal with your fasting. You don't want to do fasts that other people are controlling. Even if you're fasting with other people, it's fine to fast with other people. I'm not saying don't fast with other people. That's not the problem. The problem is that you want it to be personal for you. There's something that I fasted for, that I asked for, that in hindsight, I perhaps may not have asked for that, because did I really want that? I don't know. I have to, I have to consider that I didn't actually want what was asked for, and now I'm going to get it whether I wanted it or not. And so, that being said, you always want to have your own intentions. Even if I call a fast, well, y'all know what my fasts are. They're twice a year, 3 times a year. February the 2nd, August the 2nd or the 1st, and whenever Saturn goes into direct motion. That's it. And I may set a something that I think is good for myself and other people might find valuable, but you're always encouraged to take my things and make them your own. You don't have to go directly with what I say unless you do some kind of personal consultation with me and we look at your chart and we say, okay, based on your chart, X, Y, and Z is what you should be asking for. Whatever, because you can see what you should be fasting for in your chart. Like if you've gotten any charts by me, especially the astroturography chart, you can look and see based on this time period what you should be fasting for. Like where this is going. This is basically going to be in Gemini season. So you can say, okay, what do I have in Gemini in my chart? That's probably a good indication of what I need to be fasting for at this time. I mean, I haven't gotten down the science of that yet, but if people are interested, I can always look into it and bring some information back, about how to know what to fast for and when. I'm just encouraging people to engage in spirituality responsibly, to be the leader of their own spiritual discernment, and to do things that resonate and to help build the body up. You don't want to be tearing your body down thinking that you're getting somewhere with your fasting, with your spiritual life, because that's not how it works. If your body is not healthy, your body is the temple where the Most High dwells. And so if your body is not healthy and you're not doing things that are healthy for your body, the Most High is not going to dwell in your temple, period, no matter what you do. So you have to really keep that in mind. You want to go with what your body finds to be comfortable, you know. And of course this is no malice or ill will towards anybody. I just find that I have to say something because that's the way that I'm set up. I can't just sit back and let people do things and not make a commentary on how people can turn it into a win. I'm all about win-win situations, okay? So if I have an idea on how you can turn a situation, which in my mind does not look like a win, into a win, then that's what we're going to do. So this is how you take any fast that anybody is doing and participate in it and turn it into a win for yourself. This is how you do it. This is the skill. You make it personal. When you make your fast personal, it will always be a win for you. It may not be a win for everyone else, but you will always find yourself at the end of that fast having been successful and having gotten what you wanted. That's why you have to have a clear idea of what you're asking for, okay? A clear idea of what you want. And what I notice when we do our fast, they're all hard. There's no fast that's not hard. And a lot of them is not the food or the lack of food that makes it hard or easy. It's the spiritual rigor that you're put through to make sure, hey, this is what you asking for. You sure this is what you want? Because when you get it, you can't be upset. So I'm put through a lot of spiritual rigor during my fast, I notice. And maybe other people, notice the same. You can share it in the comments so that if people are new to fasting in general, they can, they know where to start. Now there is a book. It's called Spiritual Fasting. I don't know. I made a video about it. If I can find it, I'll share it. But it is a book on spiritual fasting where it describes different types of fasts. The Orthodox have a regular fasting schedule that if you want to get into a group of, if you want to get in sync with a group of people who are regularly fasting, the Orthodox have a fasting schedule that is a little bit easier to, or that's fairly easy to follow along with. Let's say that, because you're giving up certain things, very very specific things, wine and oil usually, or like it's very specific. You know what I mean? So I can suggest that you go over to the Orthodox and Christians and see what they got going on. That would be my primary suggestion. Okay, so I hope this is helpful for people. Again, we don't have our next fast over here until August, so I'm definitely just keeping an eye on others, and I don't want anybody to miss any spiritual tapping in that could be available to them. We don't want to do that at all. We want everyone to get access to every spiritual gift that can be bestowed upon them. We just want to do it responsibly, and we want to encourage our body to be better, not, not be involved in stuff that's going to tear our body down from the inside out. And we'll be doing some more videos talking about health stuff. I didn't forget about that. It's just during Mercury retrograde, I was definitely on out of commission. I'm still not, we're still in the shadow, so I'm still not 100% back up. But I did want to offer this information to people so that they could prepare themselves appropriately. And hopefully this has been helpful. Shalom, and we'll see you in the next video.